think we're going to run it back something like this. I definitely missed having the Bowmasters at League. I know, ZKG, if you're watching this, I told you not to play Bowmasters. I was wrong. Put the Bowmasters back in. But we are, like, really, really, really geared for the creature matchups. I'm not geared for a KetraFrogTideMose mirror or blue-white control. But at least Kaito gives us a few, like, haymakers for those. But, like, my thought with Bolt right now is, are you more likely to want Bolt to hit that final 2 points of damage or whatever at your opponent's face, or you're more likely to want Bolt to be a different removal spell if your opponent plays out, I don't know, a Guide of Souls and puts counters on it, or a Psychic Frog, or a construct token from a saga. What else? A prowess creature and a mutagenic growth. All that kind of stuff. Misty Rainforest. Like, let's check out the odds here. So against Boros, Bolt kills everything except Flage. Where Fatal Push kills everything. Against Murktide, Frog's like the only difference maker. Both hit Tameo, both hit everything else. Eldrazi, nothing matters. Nothing is killing anything relevant against Titan, but both of them hit. Both hit the Aftermath Analyst, but Bolt does not kill Dryad. Both are fine against Ruby Storm. Both are fine against Belcher. Affinity. Bolt kills Monitor, where Push doesn't. Neither kill Cannoneer. Both kill Emery Tameo. Zoo, Bolt doesn't kill Kavu. Brood Scale, both kill everything. Prowess, again, like the going big. Hits Flip to Johnny. It does hit Flip to Johnny if they, like, zero it. That's fair. Ooh, I went up a mana source too, I think. Yeah, 21. Living End. What am I discarding to hand size? Am I just discarding KetraFrogTideMose? Also, singing is a way to trigger Corey more often. It's a clear, or if it's a clear board. Like, if triggering Corey's Seal is your argument, I'm fine with that as an argument. I just think if that's the case, I would rather go higher in on like Bolt over Unholy Heat or something like that. But at the same time, like Unholy Heat's good. Opponents never expect the Spanish Inquisition. Find me another land. Come on, untap land. I specified. I said untapped and everything. Could be wrong. Just want to try Grixis or Cutter with Grixis and in tempo, not just always prowess. Well, like the reason Cutter's so good in prowess is you're being proactive constantly, right? So naturally, it's not going to have the same sort of how to express it. It's not going to have the same sort of effect and strength in a non-prowess build. So, like, if you want to play it, you're just going to have to find ways to maximize like its usefulness in kind of a tap out tempo shell or a tap out E variation of tempo. So like expressive iteration, bobble, really good ways to help with that. Dragon's Rage Channeler is pretty good. I'm gonna take this hit. Like a pretty good chance that they could have another Cascade spell, or they just want to go for like a endurance. Ah. I was not prepared for a Brazen Borrower. Opponents today have just got my number. All right. So I'm going to let them go to combat and see if they attack with both instead of just the Curator. Because if they attack with both and don't get the Exalted trigger, I can discard pending snare into the frog and eat the Curator while still like holding up Counterspell. I guess if they attack with just the Curator, I'm probably still discarding pending, Bowmaster Snare, eat the Curator. So let's exile first. Just go ahead and Get the block on. I do think Corey still would be pretty good in Izzet Murktide. Like having Bobble, Expressive Iteration, Ragavan, and Darcy for Bolt seems pretty solid. You could also probably get away with going Grixis and just playing like 4 Heat, 4 Bolt, not playing the 4 Push. Are we gonna get Odawarid? Wouldn't be shocked. Like, not really much I can do about it if it is. I'm going to go ahead and Bowmaster down this Brazen Borrower. Kind of the bright side is if they have a Cascade spell, they can't have Cascade spell and Force Negation and 6th land. They could have like main deck Mystical Dispute, and that would kind of suck. So opponent, in the nicest way I can ask, please don't have main deck Mystical Dispute. I'm definitely not going to show them that I've got Relic of Progenitus. So we'll just tack all out, discard the frog to the frog. One of these is going to get around the Shardless Agent for 7 exactly. And I don't have to show the Relic. I'm impressed, though, that we found a living end opponent. Definitely a matchup that I'm pretty sure people had written off. Not really much I want to bring in. Consigned to Memory being a 4 of in every single blue sideboard kind of makes Living End a rough choice. Yeah. Back to the Grixis list. If it were me and I was really wanting to make play Psychic Frog in a list like this, I would probably just go down the Fatal Pushes, go up on the Lightning Bolt, and drop some number of the Tamios for the 4th Ragavan, try to get some Dragon's Rage Channelers. Go a little lower to the ground, a little more proactive. Find third land. Force of vigor to the yard. I would assume that means either they're looking for a land, they don't have another green. This is definitely looking for a land. I hate that they found basic forest. Subtlety. Going for the endurance. I'm going to keep trying to hit land drops. I don't think keeping a frog on top matters a whole lot right now. The last league go horrendous. Round one was like blue-white control. And round two was Esper, KetraFrogTideMose, Frog with Kaya's Guile and Tassiger and like all this stuff. It was like, okay, you wanted it more. If you play Tasker in Modern, you deserve to get the win. I agree. And I gave it to him. Whether I meant to or not. Dispute Living End. Okay. Now what? Not really sure what they would be shocking in for. I'm literally just doing this to get another instant in the sorcery, or instant/sorcery in the yard for Murktide. Might be worth, might not. Don't know. So we can go Watery Grave, Fatal Push, the Subtlety, attack in. There's a Murktide. Carry on. GLHF. Just tuned in and watched an earlier section of the stream where you mentioned different types of viewer preferences. Just wanted to mention I really like the Optimal 73 and Test Hot Tech type videos. So, like, okay, I found this core of the deck to be really good and consistent, and I'm just going to try, like, rotating through a couple flex spots. Kind of that. Yeah, I think those are good. Those kind of videos. We're in your beginning of combat step. Yoink. Cards. And then the next day will be on like Esper or Grixis or whatever. And then the day after that, Soul Tie. And the day after that's whatever we didn't hit the first day. And then all of a sudden we're like back to the next week and back to the stock Dimir +2. Yep. Playing stock Dimir last time. I think I'm just going to main phase play out this Bowmaster. Definitely makes it look like I found an answer to a frog. And if they want to like answer, they're just gonna go for it anyway. Yep. Looks like I found an answer to a frog because I did find an answer to a frog. Cameo, Counterspell, Preordain. Kaito, definitely scary. I could. What do we think of take Tameo, Prismatic ending the frog, and then we just don't have to do anything? I kind of like that. Like, I know Tameo is not the scariest thing in the face of Bowmaster, but it could lead to them just getting a Kaito down. And despite popular belief, Kaito is outpacing my Bowmaster. I think it only gets like pretty punished if they top decked exactly Bowmaster right here. So top decking a Fatal Push isn't very nice either. One to the top, one to the bottom. They knew about this counter spell, right? Yeah. $11 turn clock, let's go. Gotta start somewhere. Here's a frog. Counterspell. Counterspell back. I hope you don't have a Murktide. Force a negation off Kaito. Okay. What about one of those KetraFrogTideMose thingies we put in the deck? Or that. That's pretty good. Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can't make a bigger Murktide than me if they find one. Nope. Murktide. 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 Got Kaito, we've got Spellbomb, we've got Stern Scolding. Anything else? Drop some forces. What do I really want to drop? What if I don't bring in Spellbomb? Or bring in... I don't know. I just need to, like, resolve a KetraFrogTideMose. Is boarding out 2 Thoughtseize that wild of an idea here? Just have all action. Or maybe 2 pending. Probably a little bit better. Would you be open to playing the list right after this league? The Grixis Corey Seal list? Probably not. we've played like some Corey Seal decks on stream, especially in the reactive shells, and I was not that impressed with them. But I was probably gonna play Grixis right after this. Just trying to see how Ragavan into like Harbinger or Shatter Assumption did. Thoughtseize is our answer to Murk. I mean, we do still have like Kaito Sink into Stupor. That's it. Kaito Sink into Stupor. Spellbomb, Relic of Progenitus, Counterspell. KetraFrogTideMose can potentially just outrace. So there's like a few answers to Murk. Alright. If they want to flash in a Bowmaster, that's fine. Relic on the stack. Sauron's Ransom. Going like that. Or there we go. I think I'd rather them take the land counterspell pile. Obviously, Tamio is really good in the matchup, but not like an oh my god, have to deal with this card, at least at the moment. I'm gonna force a negation a relic. I guess that would be like the international sign for I have a Murktide in my hand at the moment. But what I would like to try to do is have them like go to jam a Murktide to get it down before I pop Relic. And then I go for Counterspell. Maybe they have a Counterspell back and I get to like untap and resolve Kaito. But at the same time, if I can just like find a window to resolve KetraFrogTideMose, then we're probably in a reasonable spot. It's probably Murktide plus Counterspell. Yep. Counterspell, you counterspell back. And I think I'm just playing out KetraFrogTideMose into this. Maybe not. Like, if they have Force, I guess I can go Thoughtseize into KetraFrogTideMose. I'd take 5, go to 13. $11. Where are you getting 11? I'd shock to 15. Thoughtseize down to 13. Still think this, yeah, it's probably right. So they did have the Force negation. I think I am gonna let them grow the Merc by 1 to draw a card here. Yeah, I was thinking the fetch and the shock. Sure. He is gone. Let's attack in with Merc or with KetraFrogTideMose. Oh, I should have saved that. Stun down your Murktide and go. What you got? Got another counter spell? Did have the counter spell. So go down to 10 off of this. Prismatic ending the frog Down to 9, draw a card. I'm going to tick up the Kaito. The reason being it gives me like a free stun next turn. And then I think I'm just going to go for Preordained, see if I happen to draw exactly a counter spell. Pretty good. Yeah, we'll just take that and say go. Any creature gets stunned down with Kaito or lose to the 2 creatures attacking. Any non-creature gets stubbed because it's online because KetraFrogTideMose. Man, it's a shame we didn't get to Thoughtseize of Murktide. That was our only answer for it. All of the credit. If we start 2-0 and the conversation is immediately, have we broken it? Is this it? Is it solved? First one was nice. I think I should have known you had pending for the first frog. Yeah, GG's for sure. The pending I drew after you played the frog. So I main phased the Bowmaster, and my first comment was something like, well, this makes it look like I drew interaction for the frog. So maybe you won't actually play out the frog. And then you did, and I was kind of like, all right, well, at least we got Bowmaster to kind of slow it down, and then immediately drew the pending. It was like, okay, never punished. So again, no skill on my part, just top of the deck doing the Lord's work. Wait for us to lose a game. Wow, what a pile of garbage we're playing. Could have said that anyway. All right. I'm going to go for end of turn Bowmaster. I could go for upkeep, but I would rather them counterspell this Bowmaster and I get a free KetraFrogTideMose down. Where if they don't, or if they do have a counterspell, all right, that's fine too. Are they just on leyline binding? Narset. Narset, Parter of Veils. Fantastic music selection, right? I still haven't downloaded Oblivion yet. Kind of falling behind on that front. I need to. Guy was telling me about it. It looks amazing. It does really look amazing from what I've seen. Teferi, hero of Dominaria. Well, I need that, but it's unfortunate I don't get to draw a card off of it. The character design is hilariously cursed. Did you play the first Oblivion? Like the actual Oblivion? Alright. Don't do that. Very long time ago. Still counts. Alright, we need another card in exile. Got a Teferi. What would you like to do with it? They really just do not want to get rid of this KetraFrogTideMose, do they? The Solitude. Boo. Boo, I say. Boo. Definitely putting Murktide back on the battlefield. Talk about cursed things. This is a cursed thing. Teferi, I hate you so incredibly much. You're such a terribly designed magic card. Wait for the verdict before deploying. I should, but like, if they have the supreme verdict, I'm not winning this match or winning that game. So I get the be optimal argument, but like, realistically, it is not about to matter. Throne and Spark designers need to be taken out back. Like, the Throne of Eldraine designers kind of caught it because at the end of the day, all their stuff got banned. All the Okos and the Once Upon a Times and everything, like, got dealt with, but the War of the Spark stuff is just still there. And where Basic Swamp looks good, what's this Christmas? Must be my birthday. Be gone, thought. Up and it's back to looking terrible. Go power psychic frogs. Mellow Robot coming in with a 3-month Prime resub. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the subscribers. What's your opinion on Oculus builds? Mostly I think Oculus is like terrible to begin with. But that's just my 2 cents. Is this just going to be Orm's chant into verdict? Like, I think Oculus is just so inconsistent. And that really hurts. Supreme verdict. Oh, I guess it could be Wrath the Skies. All right. Hit me with your best land impression. I lied. Swamp was shit. Swamp is always shit. It's just sometimes Swamp is slightly less shit, and sometimes it's exponentially more shit. Very rarely is Swamp like middling levels of shit. Eyeball feels great when you get those turn 2 eyeballs. Feels horrible when you're sitting on an eyeball in hand unearthed and you can't get the eye in the yard and have to unearth a Bowmaster just to stay alive. That checks out. Or the number of times that I've had like 6 lands out with 3 cards in the yard, and I'm just like, I can't even cast this. If this were a Bowmaster, I could at least cast it. Yoink. Bidding both of these. Really looking for like a force negation. You know how many years of playing Magic it took me to realize with cards like Lorien Revealed, not specifically, but like the older cycle cards that cycled for a specific thing. I was so sure that these meant like use island cycle and you get to go get an island and then draw a card. So I was like, it's cycling. You draw a card when you cycle. And it took so long to understand that that was like a replacement for the draw and not in addition to. Because what was the one that Wizard cycled? It was like, oh, you get to tutor up a wizard and draw a card. This card's great. I don't really want Spell Snare. I do think we are in the market to take out a Jace. So what we do here is we attack down Jace, as one would expect. And then we Bowmaster, ping my opponent for 1. Now they have taken damage this turn, so Kaito can 0 instead of like having to plus or something. I'm going to keep another Kaito. I could be greedy and try to preordain for another land. Kind of feels like they have another Spell Snare. So let's go Kaito at you, Bowmaster, token it to Fairy. Zero Kaito. I don't really care about Frog, but I will take the Watery Grave. Preordain, see if we can find another counter spell or something. Salt Stub might do something. I don't know what, but maybe if they go like Narset, 6 land, Days Undoing, we can solve Stub. Might just have Solitude here. So let's go pick up Kaito. Now Stubborn Denial's online. I could like cast Harbinger and try to force the issue. Like they've got to float mana, hard cast Solitude before I go to combat. Kaito's so good. Kaito's so good. Why does anybody not play this card? Man. I hate not running Harbinger when they showed me like multiple triomes. So I feel like they have to be on Leyline Binding and just haven't seen them. That's a good one on time. But Kaito just dodging like Solitude, Wrath the Skies, Supreme Verdict. So ridiculous. Ah! The stack. The stack. Yeah, you gotta rest in peace. Away fly. Let's go ahead and go for Bowmaster. Check for a spell snare. Man, this is some awkward mana. I think I go Preordained Dark Slick. So I'll take Stern Scolding in case I find a frog. Or if they go for Solitude. You've got to stop with these Orms chants. Sure, that'll let me KetraFrogTideMose plus Counterspell. Or KetraFrogTideMose plus Solitude, or what is. They gone. This one, however, this one is not gone. Okay. So let's go Prismatic Ending on the Rest in Peace. Well, I was gonna go exile the Rest in Peace, or see if it exiled, then have like Relic myself if I wanted to draw. But I guess this is fine. That goes away. We draw a card. We attack in, calls KetraFrogTideMose. And then we're gonna Relic ourselves and draw a card, and yeah. Good luck. Good luck, Godspeed. In the face. Here. I'll try to cast a frog to see if they have a counter, and if they do, I'll just like relic something. If they don't, I might just discard the Kaito to the frog and relic anyway. So yeah. Cool. I'm gonna draw a card. I already played a land. Go ahead. If he's undoing. I probably should have counterspelled instead of Days Undoing, so if their last card, one of their last two was a Mystical Dispute, I could interact with it. Ban Island. Just like the card type island or basic island? Like, are we getting rid of Watery Grave and everything as well? Gonna feel really bad if my opponent's doing something unfair and graveyard related. What does this mean? Is some sort of Belcher, or is this Storm? I don't know what Mystic Peak entails. It's got to be like red-green Belcher, right? Or mono-red Belcher, or some sort of Belcher. Bitter Reunion. Resolves. I guess I can choose not to discard. I did not choose not to discard. Hasty Belcher. They play out their Belcher, and then they Karn the Great Creator, tick up on the Belcher so it becomes an artifact creature, and then sack the Bitter Reunion to give it haste so they can activate it right away. It's like, Like, you cannot beat that level of Belcher commitment. I feel like there's a good chance I'm gonna get. This has got to be the Storm Breath Dragon, or not Storm Breath Dragon, whatever the dragon's name is, right? Because of the bitter reunion. Are you sure? Are you sure that's the route you want to go? Just. I'm about to get like red blue Manamorphose grape shot, or Manamorphose for blue quicken grape shot. Yeah, this just has to be the dragon. There's like no reason to run bitter reunion when there's way better card draw options, especially in your Belcher deck. So you could not in a million years convince me this is not like an all-in Storm Dragon game or deck. So Consign is a lot better if that's the case. One dragon, whole lot easier to beat than like 27 of them. But do they have Belcher as well? Like, the MDFCs are screaming Belcher, and the Bitter Reunion, Ritual, Manamorphose, whatnot, is screaming Dragon. So I feel like it's got to be a combination of the two, right? They might have Empty the Warrens. I know when Spike has been playing these kind of decks recently, he's been playing Empty the Warrens. So I'm gonna bring in the pest controls just in case. I don't really want to get cheesed out by one if I can avoid it. Mulligans. We'll keep ours. Probably not playing this frog out until turn 3 unless I find a force or a Thoughtseize. I might just assume they don't have the resources to go off if they're on a mulligan. Is there any world where you can sign like a bitter reunion ETB? Or steel. That's a little bit awkward. We get a land, technically. All right. They missed their land drop last turn, so I think I'm just passing, trying to interact with any chain of spells before they start going off, and like untap, play Harbinger. So counter like anything they put on the stack here. Looks like nothing. Nice. Also nice. Yeah. Play out the frog. Trying to think if it mattered, if there was like any way they can actually win through me just holding up triple counterspell. And I don't really think so, but it's also fine to just present lethal this turn. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Sweet. Found an opponent. Last seen 27 days ago on Izzet Murktide. I don't know. Is it Murktide? Whatever. Guess I don't want to auto yield in case we need to force something. Excuse me? Excuse me? My friend, I believe you're lost. Actual factual 2018 Murktide. You are correct. There's actual factual psychic frog. Has Kaito performed well enough for you to consider the main deck instead of the sideboard? It's not a direct answer to that. I think that Kaito is good enough to be in the 75. I think statistically, there's more matchups that I want to bring Kaito in for than there are matchups that I want to have Kaito in the main against. But it is a really, really good card to have access to, like, out of the board. But I do not think there's enough things I want to actively have Kaito against to warrant having it in the main. I kind of feel like I should just respond to this with Pop Relic. The reason being is if they've got an Unholy Heat, then they can respond to me like fetching or sacking Relic with Sack the Bauble, hold priority, Unholy Heat. I don't really want my frog getting heated. I do need to start speeding the clock up at least a little bit. Both of those are pretty good, right? The power of Psychic Frog in any red-based matchup. Just run the risk of it, like, going completely unanswered. Your opponent just doesn't have the opportunity to, like, efficiently answer it. What is my board plan against actual factual 2017 blue-red Murktide? Like, pandemic Murktide. They probably just have, like, no good way of answering a KetraFrogTideMose. Show us those blood moons. It would be a good one for them to have. That's also a good start. I'll get a basic island. If they do have Blood Moon, obviously a little unfortunate, but I can at least, like, dig a little bit and look for an answer or something to play through it. Didn't expect you to resolve. Gonna go ahead and try to flip the Tameo. Nice. Prismatic ending coming in clutch. Yoink. They already ticked up, so I can just hold this back in case of a Ragavan dash. Murktide over Oculus. I mean, I've never been like an Oculus fan to begin with, so I feel like it's not crazy to do that. Or not crazy for me to do that. Been playing 4 pending in Murktide this week, and they solve so many issues. It's unreal. They are a pretty good card to have access to. What's my play here? I guess I bolt in, go for Frog, see if they have like an answer to this. I'm just gonna go ahead and play the Murktide. I've got Nihil Spellbomb to stop an Unholy Heat. See if they want to flip this Tameo. Never mind. Do we put like an asterisk on that trophy? I don't know. Let's pay out the prediction, but I feel a little bit bad about that one. Just kind of seemed like I don't know, it seemed like it didn't really matter what we did there. But cool league nonetheless. KetraFrogTideMose looked really solid. Prismatic ending looked solid. Got to answer like some Teferis and a bunch of random little threats. They were also 4-0 right now. I think they were like 2-1. Yeah. They were 2-1. Bowmaster looked good. Bowmaster looked really good. Kaito looked phenomenal. KetraFrogTideMose was good. We didn't run into any Eldrazi or Prowess or like Boros, and that always makes me feel like there's an asterisk next to the league. But either way, I think everything was like solid in the league. I don't think there's anything I really would have changed up just based off that. Um, like pest control, shatter assumptions, we didn't do anything with, but those are like for the two big matchups we expect to see, just didn't see them. Nihil Spellbomb could probably be something else since we have the relics, but I kind of like having the third piece just as a complete anti-grave shutdown plan. Do I think this list is capable of losing non-mirrors? I don't even know if it's capable of losing the mirror. You figure that one out. Didn't know they had pairings like that. It's they try to pair you somebody that's close to you in record, but if there's just not anybody looking for a match at that moment that fits that criteria, they'll just try to find like the next closest person. But like seizes, I like Thoughtseize more than Dreams of Steel and Oil. I tried Dreams in the first league and it just missed so many things. So I think having Thoughtseize is too important. Wrath of God, Wrath the Skies. I don't really want Wrath the Skies in like my Psychic Frog Bowmaster deck. Because if you're ever wrathing for more than one, you're just like hitting your own stuff. Pest control never can. So